Oh, hello, and I am live. At least I think I am. As always, I always like to double check what's going on. If it all works correctly, I should be live at there, I think I'm live. There we go. Yes, it all works beautifully. Yes, I am live at Janome Canada, Facebook Live, Janome Sewing Machines, Facebook Live, Janome HQ YouTube channel live, and Janome America YouTube channel live. So I love when technology works correctly and we can be live everywhere. So lovely. And Lisa is here already from South Carolina. Lovely. I hope you're getting the gorgeous weather that we are here. I am back from my palatial estate in Collingwood, and we're getting absolutely beautiful weather here. So again, regardless of where you are in the world, hopefully it's beautiful weather outside. But if it's too hot or the weather isn't that great, again, you just stay inside and sew. So that's wonderful. So hello. Oh, lovely. And my sister Deb is here. That is great. Thank you, everyone, so much for joining me today. It is wonderful to see you all again. I'm Michael Smith, the National Education Manager of Janome Canada, and yes, back live from my palatial estate in Collingwood, which is about 2 hours north of Toronto. So yes, oh, wonderful. And Lori is here from Ottawa. So this is what I love. I'm technically doing this presentation for Janome Sewing Machines, that's Janome America, Facebook Live, but again, we can go live in Janome Canada, and I know certainly a lot of our Janome Canada customers follow Janome America. We also follow Janome Australia is a great resource as well, Janome UK. We can all share the Janome love all around the world and get the most from our machine. So hello. Wonderful. And Sally's here from New Jersey. That's fabulous. That's the headquarters of Janome America is in New Jersey. So wonderful. Thank you, everyone, so much for joining me today. And yes, what are we going to talk about? Well, we're going to talk about the Embroidery Editor software. It comes with a number of Janome machines. So even if you have a 500E, a 550E, 500, or 550 ELE, you've got a Skyline S9, you've got a 15,000, we all have the Embroidery Editor software that it's a great introductory 15,000. Absolutely. Yes, we've got Embroidery Editor with that machine too. A great introductory embroidery software to help us get us comfortable on the computer, navigating things, combining embroidery designs, editing them, and then sending them to our machine. So this is not a digitizing software. That's the artistic digitizer. But this will allow us to combine designs, create new designs, and then again, send them to our machine remotely. So on a beautiful day like today, we can sit outside and enjoy the beautiful weather. Sit upside, on your sofa, wherever. So let me just flip around the camera here. I think you'll all see my big thumb in the way. As I go back camera, here we go, because then, yes, we want to show my computer here, and I'm gonna no, oops, I can't. Nope, I can't zoom in. I'm sorry, I can't zoom in with StreamYard here on my phone. So you can review this presentation. You can go back and review, because if you won't be able to see the close-ups on my computer, but again, you can follow along later when you're in front of your own computer with your software. So I have the fabulous Janome 550E, which looks like that. And it comes with the Embroidery Editor disc. Now, this is a CD for Windows-based computers. So if you don't have Windows, if you've got a Mac, then you need to either partition your hard drive so you can run Windows as well, or then a lot of the Mac owners tell us they get an inexpensive laptop for their Windows-based computers. Now, if for the operating systems, if you don't have a CD drive in your computer, you can easily get, this is an external CD reader. It'll plug into your computer very easily, very inexpensive from the discount store. So you can pick up one of those. Or if you have a friend with a PC, they can download Embroidery Editor software from the disk and put it on a USB drive, and then you can take it to your computer. So there's many ways you can get the software onto your computer. If you have a Janome 550 ELE, limited edition, you've got a QR code in your manual, and it explains how you can get that digital download to your computer. So I'm going to turn my phone off so nobody interrupts. And then what we're going to do is way up here, I've got this little icon, Embroidery Editor. So we download the Embroidery Editor onto our computer. And the first thing we're going to do is go up here to the, again, I'm sorry I can't get in closer with StreamYard. I'm on my phone, but I can't get in closer. So here, up on the top right of your screen is a little blue question mark. And you're going to click, and when I hover over it, a little drop-down menu comes down and it says Help. So I click on that, and then, oh, boom, off to the side. Yes, off to the side is a drop-down menu, and we can click, and we can ultimately print off just the individual sections if we want, where it says connecting your machine with your PC. I can click on that and we can print off just those pages, or we can click on each of these subjects. Look at all, this is a whole big drop-down menu of everything you need to know about this program. Now, it's quite an intuitive program. It's really quite easy to use. But again, there is built-in help every step of the way. So the first thing you do when you open your program, you go to, again, the top right. There's a little blue question mark. And there is your built-in instruction manual. You can print it out if you wish. I put mine in page protectors. I keep it in a red binder, red for Janome. And that way you've got it as easy reference every time. If you are using the program and you didn't, print it out, you can access this menu at any time. So that's the first thing you're going to do. Now, the next thing you're going to do is go into the top left here, the little flower icon. There's a drop-down menu, and we're going to click down to Select Model. And again, as I hover over it, it tells me Select Model. And then we're going to, in this case, do I have a 500E or the ELNA Expressive 830? Now, Janome has been manufacturing the ELNA machines for about the last 10 to 15 years or so. So that's why we have the equivalents of Janome and ELNA. Or in my case, I have a 550E, which is the same as the ELNA Expressive 830L. So I can click on that. So if you have a Skyline S9, your embroidery editor software is in the AccuTools S CD that came with your machine. So you'll download that AccuTools S onto your computer, and then within it is Embroidery Editor. For the 15,000 owners, we have it included in Horizon Link Suite CD that we download to our computer, and it's in the MB Tools category. So you click on that, and that's your embroidery editor. So I've got my machine selected. Now, also in this drop-down menu here to the left, again, we can click on version, and the little drop-down menu appears that tells us, displays information, what version it is. In this case, it's 2.0. which is the same as my embroidery editor disk. So if this software were to be updated, we can always go into that version to make sure we have the correct version, the latest version. So that is here. Now, if we wanted to bring in some existing embroidery files, we can open a new one. We can save. The cool thing about this embroidery editor software is we can do all of the same editing capabilities, as we can on our machine, but we do it now remotely here on our computer. So again, I could be outside enjoying this gorgeous weather, could be relaxing on the sofa, in bed, whatever. And the cool thing is we can not only combine and create our embroidery designs, but we can print out templates with this software. That helps us in our precise embroidery design placement. So the software is really cool to use. So because I've selected my correct machine, I've got 550E. Here are all the hoops that come included with my machine. Additionally, there's that AccuFill quilting hoop, the optional ASQ 18B hoop. Also optional here, the free R hoop and the hat hoop. Those are all built into the machine. They are optional hoops, but they're all included in the software already. So I will select the RE20B hoop is the one I'm going to use today, the rectangular hoop. And you'll notice the grid here that comes included with our embroidery hoops, that's the same grid that it appears on your screen. So that'll help you align your designs, place your designs. I especially love, again, we could do this all on our machines, but again, when we can combine designs, we can edit, duplicate, flip a mirror image, resize. We can do all that on our machine, or we can do it here more. I find it more convenient in the software on my computer. We can add in fonts that are built into the machine. And I especially love quilt labels. It's easier for me to type on my computer than it is for me to type on the embroidery machine. So that's why I really love using the embroidery editor software. All of these fonts are built into the machine. I can type faster on my computer. We can add in designs. These are from the border and normal sew that are built into your embroidery machine. Add in designs, again, combine them, and boom, now I have a quilt label. So isn't that fabulous? So yes, we can get in, and again, I want to select my hoop, my RE20B hoop, boom. So when we're getting ready to bring our designs from the machine, the built-in designs from the machine, if we have a 550E like I have, for example, we have a direct connect cable that'll connect the machine to the computer. And we use the file manager here, boom. Here would be my machine. Here is my destination, my computer. And we could bring the files again from the machine to the computer. And then we can put them in documents or desktop. If we had designs on a USB drive, as I have plugged in here, we bring the designs from the USB again onto the computer and to the desktop into our folders. Then if we have a 550 ELE, where again, digital download, for the software, we don't have that direct connect port. We will transfer designs with the USB stick exclusively. So this is how we can get the designs to the machines. Oh, subtitles. That you could do in your computer. When you go back on YouTube to watch this, there's a little subtitle button that you can click. So if you're watching this on YouTube, then you'll be able to have subtitles. So when we have the designs, then here in our software, we click the designs folder, and here we go. Now the designs folder is where all the designs built into our machine will be, or do we have designs that we've purchased separately and they're in our documents, for example? And here's a bunch of our documents that I have on my computer. Oops, and then there, do you see? I was going to click on this design, but it says embroidery design is larger than I have the hoop selected. That's another good reason for this software. It won't let you make the mistake. Ask me how I know. So that is fabulous. So again, we can bring our designs in if they're already saved on our computer. Again, that we've purchased or downloaded free from an outside source, for example, on Janome.com, Janome.ca. We have lots of free designs. This up arrow is our friend. We're going to go back to that original design category here. So design folder, this is the designs built into our machines. They're all in the same categories as far as petite designs, favorite designs, border designs. Those are the way that they are organized in my case, the 550E. So I can click on favorite design. There they all are. Again, I can't select any of these. They're too big for the embroidery hoop. They are classed here, the SQ20B. These are the designs for that. Or then the SQ14B, for example. Here are the designs for that hoop. I love this little flower. There we go. So that's beautiful. Now, again, we have all of the same editing capabilities here under the edit screen. We click edit. The same editing capabilities as we have in our embroidery machine. So I can Now select him. I've got my yellow box around my design, so I know that's the one selected. Resize. In most Janome embroidery designs, we can shrink 20% or we can increase 20%. And then we can rotate, we can flip, we can mirror image. There's so many editing capabilities built into our Janome machines as well as our software. I'm going to shrink this down a little bit more. And again, I love having the grid lines to help me resize the design. So I'll go 90. This is where, oh, I could spend all day doing this. It is so fun. Boom, there is my design in the corner. Now, just like in our Janome embroidery machines, up here, I have a 4-cornering tool. And when I hover my mouse over it, it says corner, lay out each corner. Click, boom, done. How fast, how easy is that? Again, I love this. It's so easy. Now, yes, I could do this at my embroidery machine, but maybe you're out at the cottage. Maybe you're at the trailer this summer. You don't have your embroidery machine, but you do have your computer. You can do all this creating, all this editing, all this combining of designs. You save it. Again, we go up here to the top left. Click, we save. We can save this to our desktop, save it to our computer in our documents, save it to a USB flash drive, and then bring it to our machine later. So that really is a great advantage to this software. We don't have to have our machine present when we do all this creating. So it really allows us to maximize our time. Let me just turn off the volume here of my computer. Everybody wants to get a hold of me when I do lives. So there, boom, that's done. Well, let's say we want to bring in a design, again, that we purchased elsewhere, or again, on janome.com, janome.ca, in the Inspire tab, we find a lot of free embroidery designs. So we click our design folder. And again, I'm going to go back to my up arrow, and then I can close that out. And then where is my design that I want? In this case, this Darth Vader, as it says here, that's my USB stick that I have plugged into my computer here. So I'm going to, let's say I bought a design from another website, or again, it's on my computer or on a USB stick. I click on that. I open my embroidery folder. I'm going to open my downloads folder. And there, I'm going to bring in this cute duckling design. This is a free design on janome.ca. So there is my design. And again, I go back to that edit tab, that if I want to resize this and move it around, again, I can shrink it, make it bigger. We just need to make sure that the design that we want to edit has the yellow box around it that is selected. And then I can move him off wherever. I can center him. Boom, it's done. Maybe I want to shrink him a little more, because then we can also add, and again, this is all very quick. This is why you can go back and review this at any time in Janome Facebook, or again on YouTube. The time just runs out so quickly. So now I want to add some fonts that are, again, built into the machine. So we go back into the home button, and then we scroll across monogram, open text palette for monogram. We also have our 2-letter and 3-letter monograms if we want to add. So great if we want to do, again, personalizing for labels, or again, towels or sheets. So there's my initials. Did you all know my first name is Larry? So that is LMS, so Larry Michael Smith. And then we can select, the little wreath if we want, the little, the hexagon, different shapes for our emblems, for our monograms. So we can do all that editing, click OK, boom, there it is. No, I don't want that. So instead, I go to my edit mode, my little trash can, it's gone. Let's go back to, again, I want monograms. Here are the fonts built in this case for my 550E. Now I can type in using my keyboard here on my laptop, or if we don't have a keyboard, you see over here, there's a little keyboard on the right-hand side. keyboard icon, there is a keyboard. So we could type in Janome this way or type in whatever we wish this way. And in this case, I don't want to do that. I can backspace and get rid of it. But again, we can do all of our font editing here to create whatever we want to say there. So we've got the keyboard choice here to the right, or again, the keyboard of our computer. Again, which for me, for all of the quilt labels, so much faster, so much easier. Here is where we see the border and the normal sew category. If I were to click on there, it's all built into our machine. These are like decorative stitches that we would normally stitch out in the sewing side of our machines. I can add this little shoe, for example. This is a decorative stitch built in to a number of Janome machines. Well, now it's here in my embroidery machine. So that is in the border and normal sew category. And then I can enter, boom, there it is. Now, when I want to, again, edit my fonts, what I really like when I do lettering, I like to add a little bit of space in between those letters. So up here, there's loose or tight. These are the same capabilities, again, we can do in our machine, but here it's on our computer. Now we can also arc it, and again, arc it however we wish. Now, again, we can do this on our machine, but I just find it so much easier to do it here on the laptop. And again, it's a beautiful day here, so let's go outside with the laptop. How perfect. Move him down there. It's beautiful. This is just what I want. I could spend all day doing this. So when we do all of this, the cool thing with these embroidery editor software, again, let's go up to the left here, click print. We've got a print preview. So here we click on that, and there is a printable template. This is not the same template, but again, we can print out templates. And then with the grid, you'll see the arrow, where that's arrow pointing up. So when we have the templates here for our embroidery hoops, we have left and right. So we know that's the top of the hoop. We cut out our templates and we could tape them just with like painter's tape is what I use. So then I can see, now again, this template is not the one that's on my screen. It is the one here is not for this hoop. But again, we can print this out, and then now we can take this to our fabric and we can get the precise embroidery placement we want for our design, hoop up our fabric, and we've got that perfect placement every time. It works out really well. Again, there's another little template I did. So again, this is the advantage of the software. Again, this will fit in my hoop there beautifully. So this is the advantage of the software. We can print out these templates, again, for that precise embroidery placement. So let's just close that. So now I'm ready to send this design to my USB stick. So if we had a Skyline S9, for example, we could send this wirelessly to the machine. If we had the, again, 550E with the direct connect cable, I could send it to the machine with the direct connect cable. Or again, I find it's just easier, more universally central using a USB flash drive. So now we're going to write a design. We're going to click on that. Now I have my USB stick already inserted into my computer, so we click write a design. So the first thing we're going to do is rename the design. When you can't find your design, you make sure you rename it. So I'll say test 3. If you haven't renamed it, it won't work. So you must rename it. So it says test 3. So now where do I want this design to go? Right up now, from my drop-down menu, it says PC. Now I could, if I was connected to the machine, I could send it directly to the machine this way. Or again, I have my little USB flash drive in. So I'm going to say Darth Vader is my USB flash drive. So when I select on my USB flash drive, I already have some folders created. I have my embroidery folder, the EMB folder. The ORD is our ordinary sewing folder, and I don't want that because that's for the sewing machines. I want for embroidery machines. Now, I've also created some other folders previously. I did test and test 2. So to create a whole separate folder to make it easier to find your originally created designs or purchase designs that you bring into the software, we click down on the icon here. And then there, new folder, and we just click on that. So in this case, I'll call it test 3. Boom, done. So simple. So click on that. I want it to go to test 3. This is where I want my design to go. So now we are ready to click the little arrow here that's from the PC icon to the left. And I'm going to send it to my sewing machine / USB icon to the right. The arrow is going to pull it from the software to that USB stick. Click, it is done. Now, very importantly, on your computer, when I click my little arrow here to the bottom, I get this little, it looks like a little battery with an X on it, and it is to safely eject the USB disk. In this case, my little Darth Vader USB flash drive. We want to click that. We don't want to just pull the USB stick out of the computer. That could corrupt it. And then when you can't open files on your computer, that could be one reason why that you maybe pulled out the USB stick and it has corrupted the in the machine, so then you're not able to open it. Ooh, so here, there we go. I'm going to, oh, Cheryl Paul is here. Hello. Now, I always love to turn off my machine, insert the USB flash drive that's in the side of the machine, click my machine on, and then boom, this is really so easy, so magical. So I want the arrow, the folder with the arrow out, because we're bringing the design from the USB now into the machine. So off to the side is the arrow with the, or the file folder with the arrow. Click on that. Now, where is the design? This is the sewing machine icon, the embroidery machine icon. Well, I know the design is not on the machine yet. It's on my USB stick. So I need to make sure I click the USB flash drive. Now I see a bunch of folders that I have created within that USB flash drive. I have one of 6 pages. And instantly when people put in a flash drive in their machine, they expect the design just to open up miraculously. But you need to say, where did I save the design? Did I save it in any of these folders? No. Now I could keep scrolling. I have one of 6 pages, or this up arrow is your friend. It's on every Janome embroidery machine. The up arrow takes you back a page. So here, there's my parent folder of the EMB folder. There's my ordinary sewing folder, test 1, test 2, and my newly created test 3 folder. Click, there is my design. Done. I have my fabric already hooped there. It's all done. It's that simple. So if you struggled with transferring designs, whether they're from the machine and you've created them, you've edited them in your software, or again, if you've purchased a design or downloaded one from free from janome.ca or janome.com, and you're struggling to find it, make sure that USB flash drive icon is selected. Try that up arrow to find your design, and there it is. It is that simple. So with this embroidery editor software, again, it really helps. It's a great introductory software to use for embroidery. Now, just very quickly, so let me just close all out of that. So here, when we go on to, in this case, janome.ca, and again, janome.com, we both have the Inspire tab. So you click on Inspire. Embroidery designs, we click View Embroidery Designs. Here they are, free to download. They're all Jeff formatted, which is Janome embroidery file. This heart flies, for example. There I stitched it out. Now here is the design as it is. I added the built-in lettering to my machine, and I went one step further. I layered it. I stitched it all out first, and then I stitched around with my sewing machine to create this little pouch. Now on our Janome Life blog, type in your browser Janome Life. There's a whole instruction how I did this, and I made it a little pouch for Valentine's. Oh, you put in your Janome mini duckbill scissors, you put in your Janome needles, bobbins, you give this to a friend. But it's a free embroidery design. I used it as my jumping off point to make this. So free designs on the janome.com or janome.ca, again, all in the Jeff file. Janome Australia also has free embroidery designs on their website. So that is great. We go to the Inspire tab again, and on janome.ca, we have Canadian projects. Now, again, anyone in the world can access these. We'll scroll down to the peacock and lotus flower quilt. Now, there are the instructions to make this quilt, as we all did, embroidering all these peacocks and lotus flowers and then sewed them up to a quilt. There are the embroidery files, again, that we can download. So when I bring them into my computer, I put them in my downloads folder. And then now when I click on the peacock, for example, click on the peacock to open it. Boom, it opens automatically within the Embroidery Editor software. And the software has already calculated that giant peacock is going to best be suited to stitch out in the RE36B hoop of the 550E in my case. So the software's already done it for us. It's opened it up. So now I can go in, and again, I can edit this if I wish. I could resize it. Again, I can duplicate it, I can twist it, I can rotate it, whatever. So that is a free design on janome.ca. For those of you who have a Continental M17, that peacock and lotus flower must look very familiar to you because these designs are now in the CM17. And I'm very pleased to say our former Parts, Notions, and Accessories coordinator, Tanya Denier, drew them. Celine Ross, our fabulous Janome Canada educator, who you all know, digitized them, and they're again free on janome.ca, but they're now also built into the Continental M17. So I'm very happy for our Canadian team that is in that machine. That is very exciting. So again, we can easily put in designs into Embroidery Editor from outside sources, edit them as we wish, and send them to our machine. So it makes it so fast, so easy to do. You have that unlimited creativity at your fingertips. So there, in a whirlwind, is our fabulous Janome Embroidery Editor software. Again, it comes included with a number of Janome embroidery machines. A great way to get your feet wet in doing some embroidery software. And then once you've mastered all this and you think, oh, I now want to digitize my own designs, then you go up to Artistic Digitizer. And again, you've got the fabulous Anne Hine doing all of her regular Facebook Lives, showing you all about Artistic Digitizer. So Janome is with you every step of your embroidery and sewing journey. So thank you everyone so much for joining me today. It is so exciting. Oh, you're very welcome. Great to see you, John. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Oh, hello, Kate from Chicago. Thank you everyone so much for joining me today, and I hope to see you again soon. Have a fabulous day. Happy sewing.